Y'all, I did a video about Spill Sesh whenever she did a face reveal, and she did it with Manny MUA, and I was like, wow, this is so problematic. And I had questioned if she was going to start putting her personal opinion out there in her videos, because now that she did do a face reveal, maybe she wants to be more personal with her audience. Maybe instead of just covering the facts, she's going to start giving her own personal opinion. And she did that with the Matt Rife situation, and it's a damn mess. In case you haven't seen the Matt Rife situation, you guys, a lot of people are trying to cancel him because he made a couple comments about women, and y'all, he's a comedian. He does comedy. People make jokes all the time, and a lot of people are saying that they have problems with him because he was poking fun at women during one of his new comedy skits, you guys, that he's doing for Netflix. And a lot of people were saying that is so messed up of him to do, to poke fun at the women in his audience, since his audience is made up predominantly of women. Matt Rife did talk about how his audience is predominantly women, but he does want to kind of pander to the male audience just a little bit more than what he's doing now. He wants to have a male audience as well as the women in his audience. And I don't see a problem with that. It is great to diversify your content and your audience, you guys. So I don't see nothing wrong with that. But a lot of people are saying, oh, he's so problematic that he wants a male audience, and I just don't see it.
I love it because, like, the women will come to the show so passionately. And by the way, this has changed a lot.
Yeah.
Up until, like, April of this year, it was, like, 90% women coming to these shows, which weren't always for the right reasons. And they got there, and maybe they didn't like my comedy, and they go, well, maybe I wasn't a fan for the right reason, which is fine. I appreciate the immediate support, but, like, yeah. I'm a comedian more than anything else.
Then goes on to say that a lot of these girls who do show up to his comedy skits, sometimes it just show up for the wrong reasons, aka his looks. Basically, a lot of people do admit to that. So a lot of girls show up to his comedy skits just because he's hot, right? That's what they say. And then they decide, oh, maybe he isn't really that funny. Like, not all that cracked up to be what he is on his 60-second shorts. They watch 60 seconds of him on the internet and decide that's enough to just go to one of his comedy shows. And then they get bummed out and try to cancel him when it's not what it cracked up to be, what they thought it would be. He's saying that he just wants to make more content, you guys, basically, and he wants to go viral for something other than taking off his belt, letting girls take off his belt on stage. And I totally agree with that. I think that is, they're kind of objectifying him by taking off his belt on stage, and it's going viral. And he's saying that he wants to have more things under his belt. Look at the pun.
It wasn't funny. Like, he made a joke that was basically like, if she could cook, she probably wouldn't have that black eye, which is like, I'm not rolling on the floor laughing in my seat over the fact that, you know, we're talking about women in the kitchen, and if she could cook, then maybe she wouldn't have gotten beat. Like, that's just not getting me to crack up.
Maybe it's because I grew up watching four comedians, Richard Pryor, Cat Williams, Dave Chappelle. Maybe that's why I don't see anything wrong with this. It's comedy. Really, nothing is off limits. He's not hurting anybody. He's making jokes. And by the way, you guys, the joke in question, let me play it for you guys and tell me if this is worth being canceled over.
I've only been to Baltimore one time. I ate lunch there, and the hostess who, like, seats you at the restaurant had a black eye. A full black eye. It wasn't like, what happened? Yeah, it was pretty obvious what happened. But we couldn't get over the fact that we're like, this is the face of the company? Like, this is who you have greeting people? And my boy who I was with was like, yeah, I feel bad for her, man. I feel like they should put her in the kitchen or something where nobody has to see her face, you know? And I was like, yeah, but I feel like if she could cook, she wouldn't have that black eye.
This is problematic to me, and let me tell you why. Because Spill Sesh and a lot of other people are taking it out of context, saying it's not funny because he's talking about a woman should be in the kitchen cooking, and that's why she has a black eye, because she can't cook. And yeah, he did say that, you guys, but he did not say, oh, the woman should be in the kitchen. Da-da-da. And I just feel like the joke was taken way out of context. This is such a light, okay, on a scale from 1 to 10 of offensiveness, I am a woman, and I would say this is about a 1. I didn't see anything wrong with this. I really didn't. The domestic violence, sure, I say all the time, that is never okay, you guys. But here's the thing, it's comedy. It is just comedy. Did she get the black eye because she can't cook? Who freaking knows? But it was just a joke. Who even knows if he did see a hostess with a black eye? Maybe he was just saying this because he needed something to script for his comedy session. I don't know. I think this whole thing is so problematic. Just let me know in the comments if maybe I'm the one taking it out of context and everybody else is damn right and he should be canceled. But I think it's a problem now that, I mean, it's cancel culture, right? Everybody deserves to be canceled nowadays, I guess, I assume. But now they're saying he's misogynistic and he deserves to be canceled because he made a joke about women and his women audience just couldn't handle the joke. Don't go to a comedy show if you're going to be offended by a joke that a comedian is going to make.
week.
You're telling me a man who goes on other people's podcasts and openly objectifies and criticizes women's body is misogynistic?
Matt Rife got canceled on your podcast.
Well, I think it was just guys being guys.
Guys, it was locker room talk.
Locker room talk. And for the most part, people only know Matt from like 1 minute segments on TikTok. And if three dudes
smoking hot.
So you heard it here first, guys. You are not allowed to go on a podcast and objectify women. Only we can do that. Only we can go on podcasts and call you guys hot and this, that, and the third, but don't you dare do it to us. The logic, I don't know, maybe it's just me again, you guys, but this is just my opinion.
You're telling me a man who goes on other people's podcasts and openly objectifies and criticizes women's body is misogynistic? Someone alert the church elders. You know what I mean? That part doesn't shock me nearly as much as probably the jokes themselves. One thing about a white straight male comic, they're going to be misogynistic at least 3 times.
And what does his race have to do with this exactly? I don't know. I'm just a little confused. I feel like everybody is being so nitpicky, and these women sure have a lot to say, but sure don't like what he says when he literally is saying the same things. I need to say this now because it seems like I have been on super Matt Rife's side, and I have been for this situation so far, you guys, because all the clips that I have seen so far that people are bringing to the surface, do I like them? Not really, but it's just not my cup of tea. Do I think he should be canceled for it? Absolutely not, in my opinion. He's literally just talking about certain things that sure are not my cup of tea and a lot of other people's cup of tea, but it's not that offensive. He's just saying he don't like how something looks. He talked about a vagini. If you guys don't know what that is, please, I'm not gonna explain. But I love Trevor Wallace, okay? He went on a podcast with Trevor Wallace, you guys. So it was Matt Rife and Trevor Wallace, and they were just boy talk, you know what I mean? Just talking it up on a podcast, hanging out. And Matt Rife was talking about vaginis and how he doesn't like how they look. The situation is, it's not like he pointed at one woman specifically and was like, I don't like how she looks or how this is. That is not the case even. Like, he just literally was saying, hey, I really don't like these. You know what I mean? Okay, big deal, and let's cancel him. In this brilliant world of cancel culture, do you know who should really get canceled? James Charles, because he still has all these allegations coming about that he's still trying to talk to minors. Do you know what else should be canceled? Jeffree Star, because he's literally using a girl who is dying for views and clickbait and to promote his makeup. Let's boycott Jeffree Star's makeup brand. But people are mad at Matt Rife because he made a joke that, you guys, I don't know, I just think that this is crazy. It's not, was the joke's funny to me? No. But again, he's just not my type of comedian. I have seen a couple things that he's done where I was like, hey, that's a little bit funny. But do I think he should be canceled because he's just not funny? No, because if another comedian said that joke and it was funnier or came about in a different way maybe or context, people would have ate that shit up. But the fact that Matt Rife said it, I mean, come on. Something else too that I think is so crazy, you guys, is how a lot of women are saying he's just objectifying women because of how he speaks about them. But then the first thing that they will say about him is, oh, he's hot. Like, I bought his tickets because I thought he was hot. Sis, you didn't want to see if he was funny first. Anyways, this was just my hot shit take, I guess, opinion about this situation with Matt Rife. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments because I'm very curious. I know this is going to be super 50-50. I might even lose subscribers over this because who even knows anymore? You know, it's so crazy that the world is getting so sensitive and, you know, canceling people for little things that they say, but then whenever there's serious problems on the internet with serious content creators who are really being very toxic to very young audiences, but that's totally fine and acceptable, and let's give them a lot of money on TikTok, you guys. I don't know, I just think it's crazy that this is what we're canceling. Like, sorry he made a bad joke, I don't know. Let me know what your comments about this are down below because I am so curious to hear them. Do you guys think I'm the one being crazy and should he be canceled, or do you guys think that this is a little bit blown out of proportion? With that being said, this wasn't even the planned video for today, so I'm going to be working on that right after this one, you guys, and I will catch you there.